I was sitting there and I was watching her just be happy, and I loved watching us as her community uplift her, celebrate her, and I hope when she is 20 or when she is 15, whatever that moment is, she's gonna have that memory and go, but I have people that support me and have been through this, meaning womanhood, right? Like, they have walked this, I can do this, and if I need them, they are here. If they can talk to me about this, what can we not talk about? Hey, welcome back to Blooming Horizons. I'm here with Lila Marie,
Hello.
Christina,
Hey guys,
and I am Nidra. We're in a new series, different format, but it's just still the three of us. So lucky you.
what more do you need?
So our new topic that we're going to be talking about is womanhood, and we have lots of things to talk about. But our first one is period parties. Now, question is, have you been to a period party? Or are you looking at me going, girl, what is a period party? So I'm going to let Christina tell you what a period party is.
So, period party is just a celebration of whenever your young woman in your life that you know has started her cycle. So, it's just a moment to kind of stop and celebrate, take the stigma off of that, to make it feel more natural what it is. You know what I mean? That it's more of a celebration, because I think especially in like North American culture, there's a lot of stigma and ickiness attached to having your period. I think less with the younger folks, but there's usually a little bit of cloud of mystery around it. And just to kind of open up lines of communication and just celebrate, you know, welcome to womanhood and all of its glories and downfalls.
Yes. I kind of led the charge on us starting this period parties, but interesting, I did not have this experience. My mom was very, very open about, periods this, sex that, like very open. But I've heard that some people, they start their period and then they just come in their room and there's like a bag of pads sitting there. Like their mom never spoke to them. How did your mom communicate with you about that change?
I mean, I had books and then magazines that came in. I don't remember exactly, but I remember reading about things. And somehow there was this like starter kit that I think maybe I saw it in a magazine, and then she ordered it for me. And I was very excited. First of all, I like kits. So
I was like, that just checked so many boxes for you.
Many boxes.
Came in the mail.
Yes, it was very exciting. So she gave me some basics, but that's about it. And then, that day came and the rest is history. That's all.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
I feel like I had very technology advanced experiences. I remember my grandmother checking out videos from the library that were like animated, very, early mid 80s animated, think like Schoolhouse Rock, about like what's happening to my body, I do. I have like a core memory of like watching these VHSs, which I mean, for a woman who was born right after the Depression era, like that was really progressive of her. And I mean, I don't remember having conversations. That doesn't mean they didn't happen.
Right.
But I just kind of remember being like, here, watch this. It'll explain everything. And then I do remember later in life, like coming home to just a book on my bed. Like, here's what's happening to your body. But again, no follow-up conversations. Just like, you have the information, do with it what you will. And I remember my first period was terrible. And my Girl Scout troop was going to the water park.
Oh no.
And I couldn't go to the water park. And I just remember like laying in the recliner, feeling like sad that I wasn't with my friends, and then also terrible cramps and do you know what I mean? From starting, and it was super like heavy and like it was just like yeah. So, but I guess I knew it was coming because I had watched my videos and read my books.
After I got my kit in the mail, I was really eager to start using the products. And I remember just riding in the car, just randomly, I think it's time. I think, like just randomly, I would think I felt something happening. And I was like, it's time for the kit.
Listen.
For like weeks and months. No kit. I was crestfallen every time.
Like, I want it.
So funny. So let me paint a picture of what this period party is going to look like, okay? I really would like to encourage you to not leave the book on the pillow, even though that might have been what happened to you. But, we can change. We can adapt. So here's some thoughts. And this might be too far for you, but take some of it, So our niece, Christine and I's niece, she just had her first period. And we decided to have her party a month later. Don't have the period party while they're still on their first period. We made that mistake with my first niece. It was a terrible idea. She was very, very grumpy.
Party mood. Yeah.
So wait a month, maybe 6 weeks, have this party, and everything is red. Okay? It's red. And we're embracing the color of red in this party. And the food is red. So we're having spaghetti. We're having bruschetta. We are having drinks. Now, our drinks were spiked. Our other friends, theirs were not, if you were not of age. You cannot come to the party if you have not had your period. So my daughter's like, I can't wait to have my period so I can go to the period parties. It becomes this idea of like it's something special. And she was so excited. My niece was so excited for this party. She was like, now I get to have my party. Because it's not just about the period. It's about celebrating you and us telling you how proud we are of you and encouraging you. So after we have all the red things, we have a red velvet cake. It's a whole vibe, okay? Also, there are red note cards at the front. You can just take construction paper and kind of cut them and fold them in half. And then we just wrote, things that we wish for her, things that we see in her already, and just to speak truth into her, okay? Then you're going to go eat your food, whatnot. Then we talked about having our first period. And, there's lots of funny stories because there's always going to be new people, right, that come to the party.
It was multi-generational people.
Yes.
So it was like her auntie, her youngest auntie was like 17, 18. Yeah. And then my daughter was there. She was 17. Then like moms and one of her grandmas. You were laughing, right? Because her grandma was talking about the garters and how like the pads didn't have adhesive in them, and so you had to like wear the belts with the little. And I remember my mom talking about them, so I was not shocked by this, but I was shook. Like I remember when there weren't wings on them, And she was like, I see your no wings, and I raised you a garter. I raised you a whole garter.
So we went around. That was really interesting to hear, and then also. This is a big one, and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But what you're doing is you're creating like this foundation that nothing's off the table. You want to be the person that informs your child of information. Please don't let CTQ down the street tell her crazy things. She's going to come to you because you've already set this platform that she is more than welcome to come talk to you. And with the people that have come to this party that are saying, we support you, we love you. Right. So we came and we talked about hygiene or just things you need to know about your period. And then somebody wrote them down. And now there's a short list for her that she can look at. Mm-hmm. Like one that, I know now, I still don't follow it, but is, hey, when you think you are done, you're not. You're not done. Do not go back and put on your cute panties. It's not time yet.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust it. It's a lie. And, just simple things like that. And then we all laugh because we're like, yeah, I don't know why. I still do that. Just different things like that. And everyone had one to share. You have another one? I can't think of it.
No, I was just saying, but what was neat about that round table situation is that it's like anything else. Like somebody would say something and it would spark a memory in somebody else. So things were coming up, and then like, even with her own biological line, like she was like, oh, I remember having like terrible cramps. And then like the auntie was like, oh, I have terrible cramps. And the grandma was like, oh, I had terrible cramps. And so then she was able, like her mom could look at her and say, so we obviously have a pattern here, so that like you need to just kind of, it's nice to have at the front of your mind, like when you have those really terrible cramps, that it might just be genetic, and we also like allowed her to say like, hey, but like, like 2 weeks of bleeding, let somebody know. Don't assume like, I don't know, is this natural? I just thought this maybe was how
You
my
said
body
this
was.
is what happens.
You know what I mean? And so I think also just saying, again, like ask questions.
Yes. And then we went around and we passed around a tampon. We didn't have a pad, but we passed around a tampon. What does that look like? She's obviously not ready for that at this point. But for her to know.
Just to see it.
Just to see it and hold
understand
it.
how it works.
Because she might be like, I really just got invited to a pool party. I really want to go. I really want to swim. And now she's never seen it, never touched it, doesn't know what to, so.
Or I think the first time I used a tampon was because I was surprised by my period, and that was all my friends had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like, well, figure this out. Or, or not. So I think it was good but nobody had ever shown me one. Like, I think I remember being like, here's a box. Good luck. There's an applicator. And so I was able to tell her like, oh, I remember using it for the first time and like squeezing the bottom so hard that it wouldn't depress.
Right.
Like I couldn't figure out why the little plunger wouldn't go up because you're so nervous. And so,
It's you think it's not a big, like, oh, come on. But those things matter.
Her mom has just started using the discs.
Oh, yeah.
So she, and like the disposable like kind of that. So she brought one out and like, so it was, and then we all learned something. It wasn't even just for baby girls. So like she showed us and she was like, no, you're not the good. And so we were like, huh. And obviously that was a lot.
That's too much.
For
but
her, for little girl, because she was like, I'm sorry, you do what?
So that might be a step too far. But for some of us at the table, some articles, and there were some articles, Lil Marie, that you had sent out to us about tampons and pads. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to switch it up.
Yeah. Well, I came across an article in my news feed that was just talking about some chemicals found in tampons, and I have to preface it by saying it's in conventional tampons and what you would call organic tampons, so it's for all, but there's some lead and some other cancer-causing chemicals in them, so it's a good time to reconsider what you want to put in your body. It's frustrating because just like any other product that is needed, manufacturers do what they want to get the product out, to make it work the way they want it to work and what they think the consumer wants without thinking about the physical ramifications. So just a little public service bulletin. Just be aware that you may consider some using pads. You may consider, if it's something that you're open to, you may consider cloth products. Talked about the disc. There's also like some other cup. Just experiment and be open and to what can become normal for you. Remember that as long as you're healthy and clean, that you get to decide how you want to deal with your body and your menstrual cycle as well. So
well, and then you said they've cut corners to make it do what they want to do, but then I just read too that they're just started using blood to test the absorbency of these things, that they've just been using water, like colored water. And then I was like, do you understand? Like, what? Water is not coming out of there, I promise you. This is not like a water to wine situation.
That's really disappointing. Really disappointing to hear.
So then I remember I said that at the table, and then everybody's like, no wonder they never like, right? Like, this is a super. What do you mean? And you're going through a super in like an hour, and well,
super is as nothing.
Which doesn't make any sense too, because tampons were developed to go in bullet wounds. Like, did you know that?
No,
No.
but they still use it, and I just saw like a cheer video where they used it for a bloody nose.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. But no, that was like the idea for it came from these compacted gauze
Yeah,
bullet-looking
Bullets,
things, like
which-
you know,
there we
holes
go.
to
Bullet shaped.
to put into bullet wounds. Like that is so. I'm like, so
It wasn't even for
You
you.
developed
It
it.
wasn't even for you.
It wasn't even for us, friends.
it wasn't, but you know, but it still like started out as a way to collect blood. So why did we then decide that that wasn't the proper way to? Anyway,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
But back to the party. So we went around and we talked about the things. Yeah, I know. It was a good segue. It really was. It was some good things.
so welcome.
Yeah, it was good. So we went around. We talked about just hygiene and just different things like that. But then, my favorite part was her sitting. You know, like when you go to a baby shower or a wedding shower, and the bride or the woman that we're celebrating, they're sitting in a chair at the front, and then somebody was there writing down the gifts that she got. Oh yes, she did get gifts, absolutely.
Oh, that's fun.
And she got so many fun things. She got like a bag filled with like Midol and Advil and tampons, pads, just like and some chocolates and
Her
just
little zipper bag said Shark Week.
Shark Week. Come on.
That is so fun.
I almost got
Yes.
one.
I
That's,
love that.
There were pants for her to put at the very bottom of her backpack so that if anything happens, she can throw those on.
some emergency.
Yeah,
backup
some
sweats.
emergency backup sweats, and then disposable heating pads, which I didn't know was a thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
that's
when you
new.
pull your back, like they're
Yeah.
meant for grown-ups with sore
Yeah.
muscles, and they have adhesive, so you
That's
just peel it
cool.
and
It's
stick
really
it on your
neat.
front.
Yeah.
She got a Squishmallow that heats up,
Oh, it was like a little
like a heating pad,
That's
so she can like
fun.
hold it on her tummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved it. There were so many
And then
really
I gave
great
her
things.
slime. I bought her just like a huge, and as soon as she like put the bag in her lap, I like turned to her mom and I was like, "I'm sorry, I love you so much. I'm so sorry, but okay, let's see it." I mean, it was like a bucket. It was a bucket of clear slime, and then it came with, like clay and glitter.
Listen, I don't know.
Bucket of slime. But I remember that when my oldest girl got her, they're still big, like they're still children,
Yeah.
right? Like we have to also
True.
honor the fact that, like, yes, this thing has happened to you because she's 10.
Biologically. It's just-
11?
She's 11.
Okay, so she's 11, but still, okay, 11,
Yeah.
right? I remember at that time, she was still super into slime. It's very calming. It can be like a fidget. It can be something that when you're anxious, like it can give you something to do to take your mind off of things.
Yeah.
And so I just saw that bucket of slime and I was like, yeah. So I would even suggest that, like, when you're making your period party gift bags, remember that they're still little girls. You know what I mean? Like, they're still little girls who still want to have
Yeah.
fun things. Like, while it's
Yeah.
still fun to have this zipper bag with tampons in it, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna have a party, you should offer like like something.
Yeah.
Some fun sunglasses, or we did the pimple patches,
fun.
the fun little pimple patches.
Those are cute.
face care,
Yeah.
like a little
Face care
like
stuff.
rotating brush and the little jade
Yeah,
rollers and stuff like that.
She
So-
loved it. And I was sitting there and I was watching her just be happy. And I loved watching us as her community
yeah.
uplift her, celebrate her. And I hope when she is 20 or when she is 15, whatever that moment is, she's going to have that memory and go, but I have people. I have people that support me and have been through this, meaning womanhood, right? Like they have walked this. I can do this. And if I need them, they are here.
Yeah.
If they can talk to me about this, what can we not talk about?
That's
It's
good.
Right?
so important at this going in this like 11 to, I would say, like 17 age, to just intentionally making sure that you have folded people into your chosen group that your teenagers feel like they can talk to.
We're having that moment and then we're leaving and and Christina and I was in the car, and I was having a moment. I just went off. I was like, and I just love that we were there for her, and this and that. It was about her, not about her because she is having a baby. Like, it's not a baby shower. It's not because she's connected to somebody else and she's getting married. I feel like we as women, we don't just get to have this moment of like, I am a woman,
Yeah.
and we want to celebrate that.
Celebrate womanhood. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like this idea. So I'm sharing this with Christina, and then she had some good points. Do you remember them?
I think I was just saying that, like, that is the benefit of something that's like lacking. Like you said, like, there's not a celebration of just you-ness, right? Like, you get your birthday and you get, that's it. And so, like, there's no, we don't ever like just celebrate womanhood. Even if you get like a push gift, which wasn't a thing when I was having my kids, or baby moons, or all of these things, they're attached back to the functionality of being a woman.
Of doing something for someone else's life.
Right. Like, I have brought you, like, you are doing this thing, you are a vessel. Or like when you do get into a marriage, right? Like, it's a celebration of that coupling, that joining of power. But I just don't think we have enough spaces in our life where we just celebrate us.
And what I like too, that this celebration is not about a professional or social accomplishment, because sometimes we have friends who will come behind you and celebrate you when you do X, Y, and Z. But this is something that the vast majority of women can experience.
Yeah.
There may be some who biologically, physiologically don't, but for the vast majority, something we can all enter into, and it's a space that's, as I said, not attached to doing; it's attached to who you now are being.
Yeah.
And I think just knowing that there are people who chose to hold space for you.
Yeah.
In this transitional season, as you mentioned, you're both woman and child, in this moment, and we need to honor both.
Yes.
Because, we are, no matter how old you are, you still are holding, woman and child to more or lesser degree. But in this moment of transitioning into womanhood, you're in, you're in the middle. But I love the idea of holding space, and that there's a circle of witnesses who love you. It gives you a foundation that helps you to feel safe enough to make healthy, risky choices, good risks, trying new things, but also gives you the comfort to know that if things don't go the way that you want to, that there is a circle of women who can understand experiencing that as a woman, and that's your safety net. I think that's so powerful, to say now you have entered into this circle of community of women, and that they get the chance to do life, to begin to learn what it means to do life in that community, and watching you how to then create and birth their own new community, as they hold that space for other women. I think that's so powerful. And I think it's really amazing that it can come in this thing that is historically viewed as unclean or, kind of awkward, to celebrate it, to flip the script. It's a re-enfranchisement.
Yes.
It's throwing off the shackles of your mind and giving a new idea to something. I love that.
We talked about our mood.
Yes.
We talked about self-care through that. And we talked about how mentally you can feel one way 1 second and feel a completely different way. And that is normal. I don't think my mom was really good about telling me all the things, but that's an area she didn't talk about, which I almost feel like might have been the most important. Like, this is just for this week.
Right.
Feels heavy.
Like a page is turned. This is it for now on.
We still have that now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I just don't think I can do another day. Like, you know what I mean? And to think an 11-year-old is going to have to deal with these things.
It's a hormone and the neurological reorg at the same time.
It's wild.
That is a lot.
So we did talk about that. I want to say to those, like, we're talking to a girlfriend of ours, and she was like, "Oh man, I missed it," because her oldest had her period a year ago, and Christine was like, "You didn't miss it. It's never too late. Just have an anniversary period party." So if you are late, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Never too late
It's
to
what-
celebrate.
Celebrate it. You can even just be honest and like, "Hey, I was watching my favorite podcasters and they were talking about this, and I want to do this for you. Any of your friends that have had their period, your grandma's going to come. We just want to celebrate you." I can't imagine them being like, "I don't want to have a party." Like, what girl doesn't want to have a party? So I feel like,
And
it-
they might be grumpy, but you still might do it.
yeah,
Well,
we still do it if they're grumpy. And for our friends that are beginning the process, I'm not,
Hey.
but you're beginning the process of premenopause or menopause. Have a menopause party. Who said you can't?
fans,
It's possible.
ice beverages.
It's possible.
They said we talked about this. They said just bring whatever product you have left when you know you're done,
yes. See, at
and
first
we'll
I thought,
just share.
yeah, I
you
thought
know?
we were gonna burn them, like
Yeah.
the pads and but baby, those are expensive. So you just bring them, and people can just,
They'll take home party
take-
bags.
Yeah, little party bags with what they need as they continue on their journey.
Yeah. And they could be the flip. Like, it could be the flip. Like, they can tell us what to expect.
Oh, it's a
Yes.
continuum.
Yeah.
It's a progressive period party.
Progressive period party. Look at us.
Oh my god. I don't know. I can't wait to have this menopause party.
Yeah, and celebrate our friends as they begin. I'm not
Yes.
there yet, but I'm excited.
And,
And you see already, like, it changes your mindset about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." Like, you can just encourage and be excited for them.
Yeah, it's the journey.
So it's a whole thing.
We're growing as we're going.
Oh,
right.
Speaking of, our time's up for this episode. But hey, have that party, whatever
Yeah.
type of party. It can just be a womanhood party. You could have a period party for friends and family, or a menopause party. I am sure it is somewhere on the Pinterest.
Yes, I hear
Okay.
about that.
I don't know.
Yes,
Let's just
please
check
share.
that in.
Yes. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Blooming horizon, we're here to show in the highs and the lows. Let's grow as we go.